Tonight on America, the Conversation, Andrew and Tim discuss the two newest residents of the nation of hell, a group of people who will all likely end up in hell someday, and how America and the rest of the world is starting to feel hot as hell. All this and more tonight on America, the Conversation. Hello and welcome to America the Conversation. I am one of your hosts, Tim Philippi, and with me as always is Andrew Turner. What's up, man?
I heard there was good news this week.
Oh yeah. Well, technically at this point, it's a couple weeks ago, but we had some fantastic news that, let's see, well, I think it was thrice given that Donald Trump has now been indicted for the second time. Pat Robertson, the famous 700 Club TV evangelist, has died and gone to hell, along with his new hellmate, the Unabomber. So that's dope. All these... justice has been served. Kind of. Satan is serving two of them.
Justice has been suggested.
Well, for the first one. Satan is definitely doing the whole Little Nicky pineapple thing and to Pat Robertson now. Deep cut to the 2000s. Anybody like Little Nicky still? I saw it like 50 times because it was the only DVD I had for a whole summer.
I think it's one of the less problematic Sandler movies.
Yeah, maybe. Fair. Yeah, I mean, Happy Gilmore was fun, and that's pretty much the only one I actually like. But that one is probably problematic because it was 1993. So everything was problematic.
Everything was problematic,
including
if
the
it
guy
wasn't
who
the
just
Princess
got
Bride.
Oh
it
yeah,
was problematic.
Pretty much. Oh God, yeah, that's the only decent movie from that time. But speaking of guys from that time who are problematic, Don just got indicted again, and it's pretty great. And this is a kind of a big one. Like I know like he won't go to jail, but like there's a actual chance this time, but it won't happen. But the fact that this has gone as far as like, oh, the military and the CIA and the FBI are fucking pissed that you and put soldiers in danger and showed Kid Rock a battle map, I think was what we'll get into it. But Kid Rock has seen a battle map, everybody. So yeah. Are you happy? Are you thrilled? Are you pessimistic?
Okay. I mean, like, men and women contain multitudes. People contain multitudes.
Exactly.
I have a lot of feelings about it for sure.
Sure.
First off, Crab Dance. Pat Robertson and the Unabomber are dead. There are some people on the left who like the Unabomber because he's anti-technology and modern age. I would argue that he was also very anti-LGBTQ and a reactionary
and a murderer
and a right-winger and a murderer. I mean, like, that's the least of all.
Anybody on the left that likes the Unabomber can fuck right off. That's
he's not a good dude.
No.
But we don't need to talk any more about that other than don't idolize the Unabomber.
Yeah,
everyone.
No.
And if you idolize fucking Pat Robertson, then you probably should not be listening to this podcast. Yeah. Or
keep listening.
12 to 16 Instagram messages for us on a reel.
Yeah.
Because apparently that is something that boomer trolls love to do with their time.
Yeah, they do not like us talking about the death of Pat Robertson or being just happy about the death
existing. We're like most trans people. They don't like us existing.
My favorite headline out of all of them, New York Stone, the Rolling Stone got it best, was a man who said that climate change and 9/11 were caused by homosexuals has finally died or something like that. And it was like, yeah, he did do that. And many other things that he claimed were caused by the gays and probably Muslims too. And he said Trump was ordained by God to be president or something like that. And I mean, God, I grew up on that guy hating him. Like I grew up Christian, but I grew up knowing that guy sucks. He is
all right, so
not the best.
We can go through a list real quick, and we'll dive. You know what? No. This is the start of the cast. We're gonna stick to the outline that we made. We will talk more about Pat Robertson and why he's just a horrible person, both personally with you and growing up, and just in general to the country.
Yeah. Also kept calling him Pat Robertson myself too. Like did you also, is this a Mandela effect thing where everybody thinks his name is Robinson, or just that's an easy name to fuck up, I guess. Never mind.
I mean, like I was just like, oh, the bigot from the 700 Club.
That's it. Yeah. 100%.
You know, like I didn't know his last name.
Evil Pat.
Yeah. He was Evil Pat. Yeah.
Let's get to Trump, because this is a doozy and funny and a big deal. Bigly deal.
Yeah. So, you know, we are doing a special broadcast, which you all should check out, which is called Indicted, the Alleged Crimes of Donald Trump. And we'll be discussing that more in depth, both the most recent indictment as well as the New York indictment and the likely indictments that are coming up in Georgia, possibly New Jersey now, and in Washington,
That's
D.C.
right. There's a new one.
There could be a total of 5 Trump indictment days, which is 5 excuses for me to drink midday. So I'm happy for
Champagons, get it going.
But this one, along with January 6th, and maybe more so than even January 6th, seems to be the one with the most evidence behind it. The one that is kind of the most slam dunk case. Donald Trump has admitted to doing what is charged for multiple times.
On tape, and like it's insane.
I mean, admitted on tape accidentally, like not realizing it was being recorded, and then also admitted in speeches recently.
Yeah. No, he keeps doubling down. He doubles down every time he does something wrong. He's like, "No, yeah, I did that." I'm like, "Okay, thanks."
It's a perfectly normal call when I blackmailed the Ukrainian president. Like, I did say grab him by the pussy. It was fine. Yeah, that's what you can do. It's the truth. He always doubles down, because the truth is in American politics and in a lot of like demagogic politics throughout history, if you act unapologetic, people will back you that already back you. They'll say, yeah, they're right. You know? Yeah. So I think it is a strategy on his part, a political strategy to say, never back down, never apologize, because it does work on some people. A lot of people appreciate strength over humility or honesty. So that being said, roughly 2 weeks ago, we saw Donald actually send out some tweets, and I'm going to pull those up on screen now.
Wait, is he on Twitter again? Oh no, they haven't let him back, right? Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh, they did let him back.
Absolutely have. Elon Musk tweeted out maybe 2 months ago that he could come back.
Oh,
he just has not yet. Which I think is because he probably has a contract with True Social to stay on for a certain amount of time. But yeah, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of the tweets now.
Oh, yeah.
So, number one, a few days before we actually got wind of the indictment,
Donald
Trump kind of told us
again.
that it was coming. Yeah, that it was going to happen, just like he did with the first indictment with the New York district attorney. To just run through these real quick. The corrupt Biden administration has informed my attorneys that I have been indicted, seemingly over the boxes hoax, even though Joe Biden has 1,850 boxes at the University of Delaware, additional boxes in Chinatown, D.C., with even more boxes at the University of Pennsylvania, and documents strewn all about his garage floor, where he parks his Corvette, and which is secured by only a garage door that is paper thin, and only much of the time. I have been summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. I never thought that such a thing could happen to a former president of the United States, who received far more votes than any president in the history of our country, and is currently leading, by far, all candidates, both Democrat and Republican.
Hard not true.
In polls in the 2024 presidential election. I am an innocent man.
Also not true.
This is indeed a dark day for the United States of America.
Yeah,
we are a country in serious and rapid decline.
Yes.
But together we will make America great again. So, yeah, those...
yes.
Those were his tweets like a couple days before.
The Delaware thing, that's his presidential records. That's like stuff that he's supposed to give to the or Senator. It's his personal records as shit.
The truth is, whether it was Obama or Clinton or Mike Pence, all these people, yes, had documents that they weren't supposed to have.
But they complied immediately when they were asked for them back.
They complied immediately when they were asked for them back and handed them over.
And before you do the whole, but her emails thing, the 30,000, those were fucking shit about Chelsea's wedding and a baby shower and shit like that.
I don't even want to get into that because people will debate that.
They'll debate that all day, but that is officially the reason.
And
they took her in front of Congress for like 16 hours.
There were probably plenty of emails that weren't great.
Sure, probably. I'm not defending Hillary here.
But the point is whenever people investigated it, both the DOJ, the Republican Congress, when they investigated, never found any criminal wrongdoing.
Not a single bit for weeks and hours a day. Like she was sitting there answering questions.
Also, I don't want to fucking talk about that again.
Yeah, no.
Because the fact is, it doesn't matter.
No,
I don't.
This is a different case.
Yeah. Okay, if y'all can prove that Clinton did something that was illegal, if you can prove Obama did, if you can prove Joe Biden did, then prosecute them. That's fine with me. I don't care. I don't idolize people because of the color of their tie and the party that they subscribe to. I think that the law should be applied to everyone equally, no matter what party they're in, no matter how rich they are, no matter how powerful they used to be. And if you feel like that was not done to Democratic candidates or presidents before in the past,
prosecute them.
I 100% support you to go out and prove that, to work to make sure that they're held accountable.
Exactly.
But that doesn't give an excuse to your person because you like them when they break the law.
Yeah.
If they break the law and they get caught, they're going to go to prison, no matter who they are. That is the idea of rule of law. And everyone, by the way, in the fucking Trump orbit right now, this isn't like the New York case where they're like, nothing burger, nothing's here, we'll never get it. They're all saying, well, what about Hillary? Well, what about Mike Pence? Well,
that doesn't matter. It's a different case.
Yeah.
It's like, but she did this and like, but that's not what's on trial here. Like it's not it wasn't there's no standing in a court. Like there's no judge ruling that you could reference. It's done. Like they're different things.
We're not asking if the American justice system is fair. That's up to y'all to debate later. We're saying whether or not Donald Trump committed a crime. The evidence
clearly might have.
And then he admitted to.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we've all at this point seen the pictures of the boxes on the stage, the boxes in the bathroom. And one thing I saw, I don't remember where I saw it on, but talking about that the boxes that were in the bathroom, you can clearly see in the picture that the waste bin has an empty trash bag in it, and it appears the bathroom has been cleaned, meaning that is pretty much gone through regularly by maids, anybody who could set themselves up as a spy, like as a housekeeper or anything like that. Like, not to mention the fact that they have regularly had people within feet of documents, or him just straight up showing people saying, "Oh yeah, don't look at this over. Don't get too close because I didn't declassify this." Like there is even one where he admits to it on tape. Whereas the big evidence that they have, he's for a documentary saying that he is that this is it was something about an invasion of Iran. It was specifically Iran for this one, I think, because it was North Korea for this one I'm about to tell you about. But he says, yeah, and we shouldn't even be showing this. And you can hear his like security in the back going, now we have a problem. Because yeah, you do. You have a legal problem that he's on tape admitting this. And then you have another time where a certain person, who I'll tell you the name of in a second, was being shown maps of North Korea. And the man is sitting there saying, should I be seeing this? This seems wrong. I really shouldn't be seeing this shit. That man was Kid Rock. Bomb to bomb to bomb to bang diggy diggy. Or I don't know how to say those words. And I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, personally, I don't memorize lyrics of people who admit to being a pedophile in their songs.
That's true.
That's just me.
That's true.
For a kid's movie, by the way, Osmosis Jones.
Oh, Osmosis Jones. Really? That movie sucked so bad.
Yeah,
but that makes it worse.
Song is in Osmosis Jones, and he talks about how he likes, they call it statutory. I call it mandatory.
Oh, that is Kid Rock.
Cool,
gross.
Huh? Great,
real gross.
Great and good.
Wow.
But to
it's
do
like
more
the fucking
quotes
Ted
from
Nugent
gross
shit
people.
with Cat Scratch Fever. Also a gross song.
Exactly.
Yeah. All of these so many
person.
Republicans, they blame us for being groomers, yet they're the ones that routinely turn out to be creepos. Yeah.
It's projection. But I will tell you this, you know, the old meme, which way Western man, you know, with the castle that's dark and gloomy and then the beautiful castle on the left, and you have to choose an opinion. That's kind of the meme. Well, my question is, which way country Western man? And it's either Garth Brooks saying transphobes, assholes aren't welcome in my bar, or Kid Rock saying, you know, they call it statutory, I call it mandatory. Which way country Western man?
Yeah,
you
have to
pick.
Garth Brooks.
Yeah. Oh, always. Yeah. I would listen to Chris Gaines before I would listen to.
I have did a show about it once, and it's not bad. I'll say Chris Gaines it was okay. Watch the weirdo documentary he did on it too, and it's pretty weird. It's a weird
the thunder
stone to
rolls
watch.
and the lightning strikes. That being said, to quote another gross person, as you were mentioning earlier, what the president said. In a July 2021 recording that had not been declassified. As president, I could have declassified this, but now I can't, Trump said according to a transcript of a recording obtained by CNN. Secret, this is secret information. Look at this, he reportedly added at another point. This was done by the military and given to me. He does explicitly say in this transcript that he had not declassified the document could no longer do so.
Yeah.
Despite his later public claims to the contrary. He said, I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't that amazing? Trump said, according to CNN. I had a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look, this was him. They presented me with this. This is off the record, by the way. But he presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. All sorts of stuff, pages long. Look, he added. Wait a minute. Let's see here. I just found, isn't this amazing? This totally wins my case. And he's talking about a separate case, a lawsuit. You know, except it's like highly confidential, secret stuff. This is secret information. Look at this. That is literally the words he said.
Yeah.
And then, of
clearly
course, he showed Kid Rock the invasion plan of what looked like North Korea or Iran. We don't know which one yet. But I mean, like, even Bill Barr, his own attorney general, is like, this is a slam dunk case.
Yeah.
He did it. It's illegal. He broke the law and he should drop out of the race. And I mean, you
Barr
see that with the
that
pundits on the right. You see that with the pundits on the right. They're not defending his actions. They're not saying he's innocent. They're saying that Democrats have done this too. Mm-hmm. And again, I come back to the point. Okay, I don't agree with you, but if they did, prosecute them. Okay, I agree. Let's prosecute all the people who do the illegal things, including Trump.
I mean, like in every, one here, we have prosecuted so many, heads of state, of states, governors, and like senators and congressmen and judges, and overseas they routinely put politicians in jail and prosecute them. I think a French president has definitely gone to jail at least a couple times and been removed. They prosecute their leaders all of the time. Fuck, they do it in Brazil corruptly a lot of the time, but they still prosecute people. We don't do shit here to our leaders. Like, it's unprecedented to prosecute a president.
I am not for people being able to arrest, indict, mess with their political opponents just because they're their political
No, absolutely
opponents.
not.
I'm not. But I am for, no matter who you are, if you break a law and get caught, you getting indicted or criminally charged. Yeah. I mean, now, here's the funny thing about the Kid Rock stuff. Kid Rock said 4 years ago, there's a video of him talking about it where he says, we're looking at maps and shit, and I'm like, am I supposed to be seeing this shit? Am I supposed to be on this shit? Kid says in an interview with Tucker Carlson 4 years ago. Wow. So, there you go. I mean, apparently footage resurfaced online that Kid Rock claiming Donald Trump showed him secret maps and asked what he thought about what we should do about North Korea. So that probably can surmise that he was showing him maps of an invasion plan of North Korea.
I really want to know the thought process on, even I'll give Trump the benefit of the doubt and this little bit where he is the president and he is a successful business person who has been around. What? And Kid Rock is Kid Rock. Why would you ask Kid Rock about what to do about North Korea?
Kid Rock says that.
Yeah, I know.
He goes, he says, I make dirty records sometimes. What do you think we should do about North Korea? He said to me. And I was like, what? I don't think I'm qualified to answer this.
Yeah, like even Kid Rock has the wherewithal to go, I shouldn't comment on this. I shouldn't give him advice.
I shouldn't see this. I shouldn't
Kid Rock could have said, you should bomb
this.
them, and we would have nuked them the next day.
Like, maybe. I mean, like either way. Like
I really like your music. I was at Woodstock 1999. Great documentary, by the way.
I do not think Donald Trump could handle a music festival.
I don't, not that one. But dude, no, I don't think if there's too much dirt, he's a germaphobe for one, so no, he would not be able to handle a music festival.
Yeah, he could not handle a Bonnaroo fucking like toilet. There's no way. Like as a man, I don't think a human should handle not been tripping acid in a Bonnaroo water closet at all. What do you call those porta potties? As a man who's definitely wasn't doing that.
Yeah, no, that was Frank Reynolds in that episode of Always Sunny. As we
exactly.
All know. Yeah,
as a man who has lived through the experience of Frank Reynolds. Yeah. I like to call myself the more attractive Frank Reynolds. So that being said,
you're not going to shoot everybody on accident. So
I think that the overall topic that we need to say, like, to audience, like, if you know nothing about these indictments, like, this is a serious one. Unlike New York, when we were talking to y'all about in that episode, like, this is iffy. Like, we don't know if he can actually be charged for this. Normally it's civil. Like, a lot of it's like campaign finance law, and it's complicated, and it has to do with him paying off, Stormy Daniels, and like no one cares really. Like, this and January 6th are huge deals because people do care, and there's a lot of evidence and facts that they just straight up broke the law.
The Georgia one apparently is supposed to be really big too. Like, according to the grand jury folks, they said, like, if the world saw what we saw, most people would start having a different tune. It was like, it's from Georgia, a famously red state-ish. I think it's red still. It's red-ish, but like, they said, like, that's.
I know there was at least one like big MAGA Trump supporter on the Georgia grand jury that still voted to indict, or not voted to indict, but voted to move forward. We don't know if it was an indictment yet.
Right. Yeah.
God. But we will see. I mean, like, this case that we're talking about specifically in Miami, that has to do with the documents in Mar-a-Lago, the documents he kept on a stage for everyone to see, the documents he kept in a bathroom for anyone to look at. And these are boxes and boxes. Feel free to look at the video. I don't have it pulled up for you, audience, but boxes and boxes. A lot.
80 boxes?
And then bragging about what's in them and showing them to people. God. I mean, that is a crime. That is a federal crime. And he admits, like, I can't declassify this, as we talked about just a few minutes ago. Like, he says, I didn't declassify this and I can't now. Like, that is an admission of his only defense to the crime, which was, I declassified it all when I thought about it when I left office, which is bullshit. There is a process to go through to declassify things, even for the president. But nonetheless, he has no defense. The Republicans have no defense.
He really doesn't. He's got his judge that is he appointed and helped him in this case originally.
And we'll see what happens with that. Like,
she got reprimanded hard, so I actually don't think she's going to be on his side with this. Like,
we'll see.
She got reprimanded by conservatives, like, that are her boss.
I don't want to make assumptions. We should not be counting chickens before they hatch.
No.
But whether it's good or bad chickens, but this is the most solid, a much more solid case than the New York case that we've talked about before. And this case is something that is solid because conservative pundits aren't defending the merits of the case. They're saying, what about Hillary? What about Joe Biden? And as long as that's the case, it means Trump committed a crime and they know it.
It's crazy. And like, in hearing that angle
he's
all
going
the time.
To go to, he's going to be found guilty, most likely. Now, does that mean prison time? A good friend of ours, Michael Goldman, and I talked about this with you. Like, I very much doubt it. I think that it would be logistically very hard to put a president in prison because he would never be able to be with the rest of the
You'd have to put a Secret Service in prison with him. Then those guys got to go to jail.
Would have his own wing.
Fuck that.
He would have his own wing, and it'd be like a job. I'm sure they'd show up for 8-hour shifts. Like, they're not going to
stay there all night. Like, you are also convicted by proxy. Son of a bitch. I shouldn't have joined the Secret Service.
When you join the Secret Service, you don't have to suffer the fate of the Caesar like some Praetorian guard.
Dude, that's like being buried with the Pharaoh kind of a thing.
Exactly. I don't think it's that, but
he might want that though. You have to come to jail with me.
I need friends. I am so lonely. They won't let me tweet here. This is war crimes.
Dude. they'll give him
against
so
humanity,
many
humanity.
perks. It's gonna be the whitest guy in jail you could possibly go.
Well, that's
to.
what I mean. Is
Like,
I don't think they will. They'll put a fucking ankle monitor on him and
That,
not let
he'll
him
probably-
tweet or
I
do
think
interviews.
if
and they'll
anything
keep
were to
him in
happen,
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Exactly, he will have to stay
and they'll
there.
take
the
a
rest
bunch
of,
of
his
money
life.
away from him.
Yeah.
And they'll fine him. Like I really don't think he could do anything barring like committing murder that would wind him up in a prison facility.
And he even said he could do it in the middle of Fifth Avenue and
shoot him in Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, his words. God damn.
Well,
speaking of Fifth
to kind
Avenue,
of summarize, yeah. Just to wrap it up, that was a good transition. I'm still gonna ruin it, Tim. Like just to wrap up, like this is the big one, right? This and the January 6th case are the big ones because there are 37 charges against him,
dude.
Anyone, 37 felony charges.
Yeah,
over 100 years if served consecutively of time. He is in his late 70s. He will die in prison or under house arrest if he's convicted of these crimes. And kind of importantly, what you'll hear is, well, this helps him in the primary, which if you listen to our special episode we're also recording today, you'll learn a little bit about the primaries. But this may help him in the Republican primary. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will drive up his numbers of his base and drive down the numbers on DeSantis and the rest. Kind of Gilligan Island style.
Yeah.
But in a general, I think this makes you look bad to suburban moms. I think this makes you look bad to swing voters. I think this makes you look bad to anyone who was like, well, I agree with Trump's policies, but he's kind of gross. Like, I think this will make people stay home that are independents and moderates or vote Dem.
Yep.
And that is good for Joe Biden and his chances because I'm
going to say they stay home.
I hate to spoil, but it's going to be Joe Biden as the nominee for the Democratic Party.
It is.
Barring him dying.
Yeah. Maybe we get to Gavin Newsom, but we're not gonna.
Well, he's not going to run.
Gavin Newsom.
The only other options you would have would be Kamala would jump in if he died. I'm sure. She would.
Yeah.
But then Marianne Williamson and Cornel West. And
well, is Cornel running as a Democrat though?
He's running as a Green Party. Oh, okay. I mean, I think he's
running
as
a Green Party.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, I think she'd run as a Democrat.
He was running for the People's Party, which is like Jimmy Dore, who is a supposed leftist who's actually a right-wing grifter. His party. And then Cornell realized, oh, wait, I'm working with a bunch of right-wingers that are pretending to be liberals or leftists. Oh, my God. And so he switched to the Green Party, which was smart of him. Yeah. Better the Green Party than that. But I think he should run in the Democratic Party. I think that no matter how popular a president is, they should have to do a debate or two with people who are primarying them because if they're worthy of it, then they shouldn't have anything to worry about when they walk into that debate and have the gravitas. And also, I think it does let you reconnect with your base, your party, and realize what they really want and why they would challenge you, even if they don't have a chance, right? So I do think Cornel West should run in the Democratic Party. I do think people should challenge Joe Biden. I also think that no one has a real chance. So the moment it becomes obvious that they've lost a few primaries and caucuses, they should drop out and then let him go forward.
Yeah. They're just there to push him to the left, and that's what Cornell should be. AOC should do the same thing. Gavin should do the same thing.
Maybe not AOC because she has a future.
True, yeah, she has a future. Just anybody who's let Bernie. No, I don't want Bernie running again. Unfortunately,
I mean, I think Bernie's a leader in the Senate. I don't want him to ruin his chances with Biden in the next 4 years to get legislation done. Yeah, I want people who have no other reason other than to push Biden to do so.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's a good idea in the primaries, which once again, check out the next episode that's in your feed from ATC. It will be on why primaries are important in politics and what you can do to affect them.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim Philippi, founder of Shui Media and the producer of the show you're enjoying right now. At Shui Media, we produce a lot of content, and due to, capitalism, we need money to keep making that content, and that's where you, the fan, can help out. In the description of this episode, you'll find multiple affiliate links that help out Shui Media and help out you as well. You can also head over to shuimedia.com/affiliates for a full list of the affiliate links that help out Shui, help out you, or maybe even help out one of your friends or family members. And that's it. That's the commercial. Thanks for listening. And now, back to the show.
But with, old fucks that deserve to get worse than what they've got in mind, we have another topic to discuss today.
Dude, I mentioned it before the show. We need some sort of socialist medal of freedom or something like that. And whoever did this, that we're about to talk about, you have earned the Podcast Presents Medal of Freedom, which is more or less just a T-shirt. No, I'm talking about
we're moving
in New York.
We're moving. Yeah.
Oh
no. The graphic design.
No, God
that's what
does not. God is fucking up the last half of this show.
I transitioned to the third part, audience, not the second part. That's my fault. Not Tim's.
A wonderful graphic artist who got contracted by the city of New York for their little copmobiles, made their Pride logo. And what's the phrasing that spelled out the?
Well, we're gonna stop right there. Copmobiles, like they are known as police cars.
I don't want to. I want to make them seem lesser than they are. Copmobiles, little wind-up cars that they have. No, they're police cars.
Like the Thanos copter. Like what?
They designed for their Thanos copters. But on all of the cop cars says what now under the Pride logo? All colors are beautiful.
All colors are beautiful.
Now, what does that spell as an acronym?
Well, it would spell a cob. I believe, by another pronunciation, ACAB?
Oh, you mean all cops are bastards? I think I've heard it pronounced that way before. Yeah, all colors are beautiful. I thought it said cars. Oh my God. Man, like how did they miss? I mean, it's easily missable, but that's just... Kudos to whoever did that. If you are the person that did that and you're watching this, contact us and we'll give you an America the Podcast shirt. That's your America the Podcast social.
I will buy you a medal.
Yeah, we may buy you a medal.
From my personal funds. Like, I may put
Go
that
to one
on
of
the
those
Patreon
sports
or like send a message to somebody and be like, hey, can you send us some money so that I can buy them a medal?
Like, we're going to go to a trophy store and have it made for you. Especially, no cost is too great. We'll have it made out of platinum. No, I'm not promising that. But we'll gild it.
I mean, I think this speaks to a bigger issue, which is like whether it's corporations or it's police forces, they co-opt Pride now that it's become socially acceptable to be openly gay, and they try to use it to sell an ideology or sell a product. And the truth is Pride is supposed to be about the fact that a lot of people didn't accept people that were LGBTQ plus, queer in general. Some of us still, myself included, have family members that never accepted who they were and who they love and their idea of like what it means to be in love with someone. And Pride is about that found family. Pride is about taking pride in yourself and who you are and admitting the truth of who you are without having to hide it and be ashamed of it. And one of the first prides at Stonewall was a riot. It was gay people, trans people, lesbians and gays working to fight back the police violently.
Isn't Pride Day specifically that anniversary? Or am I?
I believe it is an anniversary of Stonewall, or at least a lot of prides are. Pride varies.
That's the one.
Pride Month is a general idea, but like different cities have different weeks or weekends that they celebrate Pride. Different neighborhoods do. I mean, Stonewall is a significant historical moment in the celebration and creation of Pride. And that wasn't some peaceful, it
was a full-on riot.
Easygoing time, as much as I do love Pride and how much of a party it is to every Pride I've been to. Like, the fact that you can be proud about who you are, the fact that people can, adults can marry each other as long as they are in a consensual, loving relationship, no matter what state they're in. That is because people bled and died for you to be able to do that. Just as much as any war, brings you freedom, according to a lot of American propagandists, like gun-ho American. Well, Pride is brought to you by the queer people who died, who were murdered
by Target,
who fought the police, who were locked up, who had to hide the fact of who they were and still fought for it for roughly 500, 600 years since being LGBTQ plus was something that socially was just unacceptable. And it varies, country to country and culture to culture on when that happened. But it's not like this hasn't always been the case. There has always been gay people. There has always been trans people. There are gay animals. If you want to look it up, it's pretty common in mammalia and mammals.
Yeah, there's like 60 animals that exhibit
gay behavior.
It's so great. Penguin specifically.
It is natural. It is natural. It is a naturally occurring thing. And for a long time, because of whether it be religious or societal pressures, I mean, people were killed, murdered, forced into the closet because of that. And luckily, we live in a time that is more civil. But in ancient Greece, in ancient Rome, in tribal, Native American cultures, in most of tribal European cultures before colonialism and the Catholic Church taking over, like, being gay wasn't looked at as something that was other or different. It was just part of the tapestry that is humanity. And the problem is that police at Pride is a demonstration of the very people who will betray you as a gay person if the laws tell them to do so. Because the police will enforce the laws no matter what the laws are. And if that is the case, they would be the same people putting you in the camps. If somebody that was a politician passed a law making it gay to be illegal, or illegal to be gay, rather. And Pride should be a celebration that we can be who we are. It shouldn't be an opportunity for Lockheed Martin and Target to sell you shit. It shouldn't be an opportunity for the police to try to gain some community points. And we don't have time to dive into it, but a lot of right-wing people have been attacking a lot of corporations lately, like Target, and forcing them to change their policy, like Bud Light, because of their support for trans people specifically.
Like, if you're gonna monopolize on it, fucking stick with it. Like, have some fucking.
Well, they're cowards.
I know
they
they're
just
cowards.
Want your gay bucks. They just want your gay bucks. They don't actually care about you. So they'll back down anytime there's any pressure campaign. And what I have to say to that is, join the conservatives. Don't show up at Target then, because they won't fucking back us up. And they can learn what it's like to lose everyone on the left and the right when they could have just stuck to their guns and say, no, all love is love. And we're going to keep up with the social trends, because 75% of Democrats agree that there's nothing wrong with being gay. And roughly 50% from what I last saw, I can check here, of Republicans feel that way. But I mean, it is trending downward over the last 2 years because of the attacks on trans people and the LGBT community in general from the right. And as much as we should have pride, and pride should be our thing, and we should be happy that we've gotten to the point that we're in, that freedom is fickle. That freedom is new. And it could easily be taken away by someone like Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump if they gain power again.
DeSantis, is that what they called him? God,
I think he's calling him DeSantis now.
That doesn't even make sense.
He should call him Rhonda. Rhonda!
I know.
Because it's Ron DeSantis. They should call him Rhonda. Little Rhonda.
Maybe he's...
5'6".
He's holding off on that one until, like, a debate. Like, I bet he's got some good ones, like, in there.
I mean, I'm excited. I do want to see the Fash fight each other like Godzilla and Mothra. Like, that's kind of my spiel on Pride as a silly bisexual boy. So
and
ACAB.
ACAB is the end of it. Like, that's all I got on that. It's like, fuck these opportunists, ACAB. But speaking of opportunities that we all need to take advantage of is to save the climate somehow. I don't know. If we can.
Yeah, so...
how many of you seen Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah.
It's great.
Have any of you ever watched the show Breaking Bad and noticed the orange filter on it?
Yeah.
Have you played Cyberpunk and decided to go out into the Badlands? Have you seen Blade Runner 2049 or perhaps one of the Resident Evil movies that takes place in Las Vegas? I forget which one. But there is a similar orange hue that normally is added by a camera lens in Hollywood in New York City recently from the wildfires that came from Canada, the sheer smog that came down. And while that isn't a direct result of climate change, because nothing is, there's no such thing as a direct result from climate change, because climate change is a overarching worldly event. This is an indirect result of the fact that we've put hydrocarbons in the air to the point that we are warming the planet.
And it's happening on both coasts, man. Like, this is this is Canada. Came from
California.
Here. Oregon looked the same way. Like, I remember an LA video and an Oregon video of drones with the Blade Runner music over it. I'm like, this could easily just be Blade Runner. Like, and they did the same thing recently. Did you get smoke? Like recently, did your sky turn orange? And
I'm leaving New England. To come back to my home state of Texas and be able to knock on Tim's door anytime with a 3-hour drive. But it wasn't near as bad as New York. Don't get me wrong. It was thick cloud cover.
New York was insane. You couldn't see buildings.
The sun was a bright red, like a Japanese flag, like
Krypton
Japan flag. Yeah, or Krypton, like the sun on Tatooine was a bright red.
God.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
it's scary.
It was pretty bad, and it was terrifying.
Is it harder to breathe? I mean, it was for the New York folk.
I'm a fat asthmatic boy, so it's always hard to breathe.
But like, was it the air physically thicker? Did you feel it? Like I
couldn't tell you. I stayed inside and avoided.
That's good.
You know, as the good boy that I am, scared.
God.
But
let's kick it down to the road to our kids. It will be fine.
It's just another example, like you were bringing up. The main point I want to make with this is like whether it's the wildfires in California or it's the droughts in Texas and the inability to grow crops and maintain livestock, or it's the heavier winters in New England, or it's the fact that it's 85 degrees in England, which is a big deal for them, and people are dying over it, and guards are dropping to the ground.
Oh,
well, they don't have AC.
Oh, England. Sorry, you said England. Yeah. Oh, London. Those guards with the funny hats. Yeah, there was tons of them.
They fell down because they had a bunch of heat exhaustion.
Guy kept playing his tuba. That was insane.
And I mean, that's Western, so we notice it. But or the thousands of deaths that happen in India every year with more and more
all the time.
Climate change is happening. It is real. It is here. More scientists in general agree that climate change is happening and that it has a human cause. Then doctors believe smoking causes cancer as a percentage.
Wow. I remember someone telling me once that living in Los Angeles because of the pollution and things like that is like smoking 5 cigarettes a day or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard similar like analogies with living in Beijing is like smoking a pack a day, and it makes sense. Yeah. Like I'm sure I'm sure there's not a real equivalency because it would depend on your genetics and it would depend on where you're breathing it in and what particular matter is made up where and that. But it is not healthy for you to breathe in smog. It causes asthma. It causes cancer. It is not a good thing to be breathing in smoke and smog. And that is what happened throughout New York. And
we go on walks next to cars all the time. Like there's just exhaust. We're constantly breathing in. Like if you go downtown, you're just breathing in exhaust while you're down there. Like in any city.
There's a whole. We should do an issues episode on how the car lobby changed the entire country.
Jesus, that's
right. We're the only country, that's a Western country that has highways everywhere instead of walkable cities. That we don't have public transportation. That the country that invented the long-term train travel doesn't have high-speed rail.
We did do that. That's so insane. God damn it. Yeah, the high-speed rail thing pisses me off every moment I wake up.
It's because in the 1920s, the car lobbies lobbied to get rid of public transit. You look at old photos of San Francisco, New York, even
trolleys
Dallas.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Trolleys everywhere, buses everywhere.
Trolleys.
But those places got torn down, and a lot of main streets got torn down to make way for highways. Yep. And by the way, a lot of black communities got
especially Austin got
to make
right down the middle. Yeah.
So I mean, that's a whole nother episode that we could talk about. But the climate change is real. It's here, and if we want to do anything about it for our kids, our grandkids, our great grandkids, we got to start acting now.
Yeah,
as soon as possible. And denying it is just sucking the cock of oil companies. That's all it's doing.
That's really it. It's. God, it's not going to stop until but what's our call to action for this? Because don't just recycle. Yeah, there you go. Enjoy Blade. No, it's not Blade Runner in 2049. That's New York 2 weeks ago as of this recording. That's man. That's the Empire State Building. Yeah. God damn, that is so fucking scary. That's the. Oh yeah, perfect color rendition in the Batman movie, the fucking Snyder cut where he's in the future.
Where is he?
Yeah, where he's rolling, but it's desolate because nukes have
pretty
gone
hard
off.
On that one.
Yeah, yeah, you're fine. Swear to me. But like, yeah, I mean, we need to swear to something. A Green New Deal. That's, I mean, vote.
That would be a good idea.
It really, it depends on personal.
Well, what we should do is stop subsidizing the oil companies. We should hold them accountable. We should seize their assets, and we should nationalize oil. And then we should invest in clean and green energy.
Yeah.
That's what we should do if you actually
Green New Deals, defund the police or refund them in a way that if you don't like defund the police, then I don't know, fucking slap a goddamn mental health worker with every cop like we should be doing and take away their fucking guns like they do in England. They don't do that mental health thing in England, but they don't have guns.
Take away everybody's guns if we took away the cops' guns.
Fair enough.
We're not going to do that.
It's not going to happen.
But we certainly could stop sending people who have guns to every call.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't violent. Exactly. And we could send people who de-escalate and aren't intimidating first off. And we could retrain cops in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of fundamental systematic things that people will argue that are more left than me, or at least more radical, adamant in their radicalization than me. I'm pretty radical, but I'm not adamant in a lot of it. But I mean, like, there's a lot of solutions to these problems that are systematic, whether it be climate change or policing in the United States and institutionalized racism, or just violence in general. There's a lot of things we could do.
Yeah.
But you're going to have
persecuting
to vote
corrupt
for
politicians
that actually
persecute the bad ones, vote for the good ones. They're very easy to tell. How many presidents have taken all these nuclear documents home with them and then read them to reporters? Ask yourself that. Just ask anyone. Since we've had nukes since Eisenhower or Truman on.
Yeah. I mean, but I want to also reiterate, because like the vast majority of people listening to this podcast think Orange Man bad, and I agree with them. Like, Trump sucks, but like, you have to hold Biden accountable too. Like, you have to say
Biden sucks.
Democrats. You can't say, well, you're a Democrat, so I guess you can do whatever you want because you're not a Republican. You have to be able to say, no, this is what we want as the people who got you elected. And if you don't do it, we're not saying we'll vote for the Republican. We just won't vote for you. We'll primary you. We'll refuse to vote for you in a general. Like, we have to hold the Democratic Party's feet to the fire. Because if they think they can win just by saying, well, the Republicans are worse, that's what they'll do. That's what they'll do.
Every single time. Every single time. Like, it's their own straw man. We talk about straw men on here all the time. Like, Republicans have their own. Democrats have their own. I don't know. At the end of the day, prosecute politicians, defund the police, and fucking, I don't know, recycle at the very least, which don't get me started in recycling. It all goes to a trash island in the middle of nowhere. And
did you know recycling?
Bolivians.
Did you know recycling as a campaign in the 80s and 90s was made up by the oil and gas companies?
Oh, fuck. Come on, man. Can anything be good? This is why we can't have nice things.
Place the responsibility of environmental disaster on you as an individual.
Fucking bitch. This is your fault now, son of a bitch.
70% of carbon emissions come from corporations and the United States Military Department of Defense.
I hate everything.
You should definitely, use your paper straws, recycle as best you can. I'm not telling you not to try to do your part.
We'll get metal straws way better.
Individual parts will never actually solve the problem. We have to address it at an institutional level and a corporate level.
Yeah. And that's as good a place to end it as anything. We have to do a lot of things at the institutional level. Oh, yeah. What's one more thing? What's one more thing?
Pat Robertson is dead.
Pat Robertson died. He died. He's gone. Dead. He's being tortured in hell. Jesus said nope and kicked him down. It's
Cut
great.
to 3 seconds of crab rave because we can't afford it.
So that's the moral of the whole show. Pat Robinson died. Yeah. Forget everything we said. If you take away anything, just know fuck Pat Robinson, fuck the Unabomber, fuck Donald Trump.
Before we move on, I do want to say, why do we say fuck Pat Robertson? As somebody who will likely get defended by a lot of the right and the Christian right.
Sure.
Openly called for the assassination of Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. Comments about hurricane and sin. He blamed Katrina on lesbians and abortion.
Right.
Hurricane Katrina that killed thousands of people.
Yep.
Comments about September 11th. He said that this lifted the curtain around America, allowed our enemies to give us what we probably deserve. And why did we deserve 9/11? It's not the Hassan reason of where we led to these people being able to do it by giving them weapons and money and funding. No, it's because they threw God out of the public square and out of schools. The abortionists have got to bear some burden for this. because God will not be mocked. So abortionists apparently caused 9/11, as well as all of us saying that we can't make teachers make you pray in school.
Yeah.
He also 100 claimed that gay men were giving people AIDS through rings that pierced them during the AIDS crisis.
I remember hearing that myth, and that scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Pat Robertson who started it.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Well, at least propagated it to the point that it was common among.
So they would put like needles on gas station pumps to where you get pricked by one.
Yeah, that's all lies.
That's all
never happened.
Oh, never fucking happened.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Everything he said about Muslims and Islam in general is just, imagine Bill Maher, but more racist.
Just generalize Islamophobia outright.
He says the feminist agenda is not about equal rights for women, but it's about a socialist, anti-family political movement that encourages women to leave their husbands, kill their children, practice witchcraft, destroy capitalism, and become lesbians, which... Pat, stop making it sound so fucking cool.
Yeah, like what drugs did he take and why are they not my drugs? I want those drugs. Give me those drugs.
You were on those drugs for about 13 to 16 years.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's all fucking. Yeah, it's called indoctrination. That's the drug. I don't want those drugs.
It's called fundamentalism.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Calling non-Christians
fundamentalism is a hell of a drug.
In the Wood of America. Calling for terrorism against the U.S. State Department in 2003.
What?
Saying maybe we need a small nuke thrown off at Foggy Bottom to shake things up like Newt Gingrich wants to do.
Whoa.
Claiming gay men deliberately spread HIV, which we talked about already.
Yeah.
And Haiti's deal with the devil. He claimed that Haiti deserved its earthquake and hurricanes because their people made a deal with the devil when they overthrew the slavers that took them over. The only successful group of black slaves that overthrew their government and started their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope
he
story.
said that's because they made a deal with Lucifer.
Well, fun fact,
so that's why I'm glad he's dead.
Lucifer,
and by the way,
you're in the hands of the almighty Lucifer now.
He is. He is talking with Lucifer about exactly what Lucifer did.
He's being tortured.
Going on.
One-way conversation. This is what you get.
I'm sure at least, Lucy is talking a little bit to him at least, because if I know Lucy, he's a fun guy. But that being said, I mean, I'm glad he's dead. I don't feel bad that I celebrate bad people's deaths.
No.
That's like being like, well,
but they're someone's child. No.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the year is 1945. Man, I'm glad Hitler's dead. What a piece of shit. Well, sure, he did some bad things, but can't you just give him a day on his own death to recognize the good he did?
Someone tried to tell me that about Osama bin Laden once. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Exactly. Like, half my friends went over there and 3 of them died. Fuck you. So Osama bin Laden deserves to fucking die.
The retort to is don't make fun of the dead is, well, don't be a piece of shit when you're alive.
Yeah, don't be a piece of shit. That's the takeaway. America, don't be a piece of shit. Good night.
Don't be a piece of shit, America.
You've been listening to America the Conversation, a production of Shway Media and America the Podcast Presents. The show was created and is hosted by Tim Phillippe and Andrew Turner. The show's theme song is by Timmy Two Step, and all other music and sounds heard in this show were procured through the amazing companies listed in our show notes. America the Conversation is mixed and edited by Tim Phillippe at Shway Media Studios in Austin, Texas. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com. Copyright 2023, all rights reserved.
This has been a production of Shway Media, all rights reserved. For more information, please visit shwaymedia.com.